Like and subscribe right now, or you're going to have terrible luck for the next week. About 10% of the planet's animal species live in the Amazon, making it one of the most biodiverse places in the world. Among these species, some are beautiful, but others inspire terror by the mere thought of them. Like, for instance, how do you think the thought of a 30-centimeter centipede that attacks snakes? You'll get to see it in a few minutes if you stick around. Number 10. Arapaima Gigas. Arapaima Gigas, am I saying that right? Is a species of fish that is known especially for its large size. They're among the largest freshwater fish from around the world. On average, they measure about 2 meters in length and can weigh as much as 200 kilograms. As a predator, the fish has a powerful set of jaws that works just fine in tearing into prey. But with the diversity in the Amazon, it has enemies as well, the piranhas. For protection against these attackers, Arapaima Gigas is covered with 2 layers of hard material, which is the more rigid outer part and the flexible yet tough inner layer. Luckily, these big guys never go after people, as there is hardly any recorded attack on humans. But humans, on the other hand, have been responsible for the fish's near extinction status. The meat is considered both a delicacy and medicine among the Amazonian tribes. In a bid to save the beast, the Brazilian government banned commercial fishing of the species for 3 years in 1996. Fishing later resumed in a few designated areas. Additionally, a management system was developed, which has seen the fish numbers increase considerably over the past 2 decades. Number 9. Black caiman. Black caimans are close relatives to the American alligator and tend to be just as big. On average, caimans can reach lengths of up to 5 meters and weigh in at about 300 kilograms. At that size, the black caiman is the largest predator in the larger Amazonian ecosystem. So it can take on just about any animal it deems worthy of a meal. Birds, mammals, fish, and other reptiles are some of the most common meals for this powerful hunter. Black caimans have been known to attack humans with their powerful jaws. There have been several fatal incidents. According to Australia's Charles Darwin University, there were over 43 attacks between 2008 and 2013. The black caiman's hunting routine could be the reason why the attacks aren't as high. Most of them hunt on land at night, depending on their sharp eyesight and hearing sense to track down prey. Despite their toughness, black caimans were nearly hunted to extinction from the 1950s to 1970s for meat and their well-marked skin. Number 8. Red-bellied piranhas. Piranhas are no new entrants to the world of scary things. They're quite popular villains in movies, where they're depicted as frenzy eaters looking to attack just about anything with flesh. While this is true to an extent, not all piranhas are aggressive. Even the red-bellied piranhas aren't that much aggressive, although they can turn around real fast. For a larger part, they feed on insects and plants. They also don't hunt in groups, and just keep together for the added protection against predators. But that doesn't mean they can't turn into savage beasts if they need to. They've been known to go after larger animals that are weak, injured, dying, or dead. Sometimes they might also attack an animal due to perceived danger signaled by unusual movements like splashing around in the water. Blood can also act as a precursor for an attack. And if the piranhas haven't come across any food, they'll attack in frenzy, though this is very rare. But still, you wouldn't want to be on the receiving end. Number 7. Pacu. Pacu is yet another interesting fish species in the Amazon. Its main defining features are the teeth that look similar to ours. What's more, the fish are also omnivorous, although they consume way more plant materials than flesh. So they're very unlikely to attack humans. But when they do, their tough teeth can deal some serious damage. And pain, of course. They're closely related to the piranhas, but tend to grow bigger, averaging about 1 meter in length and 40 kilograms in weight. Number 6. The green anaconda. This beastly serpent is pretty famous among its peers, especially for its size. A typical green anaconda measures slightly above 5 meters in length and can weigh as much as 70 kilograms, with females being slightly larger than the males. In terms of weight, they're the world's heaviest snakes and come in second, after the python in terms of length. Unlike most snakes, green anacondas prefer marshes, slow-moving streams, and swamps as opposed to land. This is where they thrive best when it comes to hunting prey. And they have one important adaptation for this. Both the nasal openings and the eyes are on top of the heads. This allows them to remain hidden for the most part as they lie in wait for prey. Since they don't have venom, these beastly serpents depend solely on their muscle power to subdue prey. Once a potential meal has been locked in, a green anaconda strikes at high speed and immediately coils itself around the animal to suffocate it before swallowing it whole. While there exists no conclusive evidence of these anacondas attacking people, it's still scary to think of what would happen if such a huge snake was to attack a human. You wouldn't stand a chance, that's for sure. Number 5. Goliath bird-eater. All hail the biggest spider on the planet, the Goliath bird-eater. Think that elusive spider in your house is scary? Maybe it is, but this Amazon basin dweller is sure to send a whole lot of chills down your spine. It boasts of an average weight of 170 grams, which gives it quite an advantage when compared to other smaller spiders when it comes to prey. Of course, it feeds mainly on insects, just like its tinier counterparts, but it has a few additions. Frogs, rodents, and, on rare occasions, birds supplement the Goliath bird-eating spider's diet. Though scary to look at or even imagine, these spiders don't pose much danger to humans. But you wouldn't want to touch them. They have small hairs on their legs that are equipped with barbs for defense. Their hairs cause serious irritation when they land on the skin. With that said, these spiders are a delicacy in some areas of South America. Of course, the hairs have to be removed first. Number 4. Bull shark. Bull sharks have the known tendency of traveling up rivers, which can be attributed to their ability to survive in both fresh and salty water. That's why it's not uncommon to find them in the Amazon River. Being some of the most aggressive sharks, they present grave danger to anyone who would dare step into the river. This, coupled with their love for shallow waters, which is where most people hang out, has seen bull sharks top the charts as far as human attacks go. They're also highly territorial beings, which makes it even worse. Their major weapon, just like any other shark, is the teeth, which can exert a bite force of over 5,900 newtons, which is the highest among cartilaginous fish. Yep, you wouldn't want to get bitten by that. Despite all the bad rep, these beasts don't usually attack people with malicious intent. They don't consider us food anyway. According to National Geographic, their onslaughts are out of curiosity for a larger part, or just too tender for their teeth and jaws. Number 3. Electric eel. By its name, you can already tell the kind of danger you're likely to encounter if you cross an electric eel's path. A typical electric eel can generate as much as 600 volts of electrical charge, thanks to specialized cells. But important to note is that these creatures are not always charged. In fact, they won't usually release all the 600 volts at the slightest provocation. They release small amounts of electricity to monitor their surroundings. The voltage is increased considerably when an electric eel is hunting for a meal. Using the electric charge, it can then locate and stun potential prey before diving into a bite. This is the scary side of being with an electric eel in the same water, since humans are just as susceptible to electric shock. The current is not necessarily fatal to people, but its effects can be devastating. That sudden jolt has the potential to cause heart failure, which can in turn lead to drowning even in shallow waters. Now it's time for today's best pick. Today's photo was sent to us by a subscriber, so if you come across a photo online and want to know more details about it, just send it over to us. We might even feature it in a future video. Number 2. Humpback whale. Just to be clear, humpback whales don't live in the Amazon River, and they're not even scary. Of course, humpback whales are some of the largest animals on our planet, but they've never been known to attack humans. On the contrary, there are accounts of these aquatic beasts protecting people and other animals from ocean predators. Enough of that, though. What exactly is this humpback whale doing deep in the Amazon jungle, thousands of miles away from its home? Scientists hypothesize that the whale might have always been dead and was carried by a tide into the jungle. Cause of death? Some think plastic ingestion. But that was never confirmed, as nothing has been heard from the scientists who took samples of the carcass for further investigations. Another plausible explanation stemmed from the whale being young, probably a year old. At that age, it can't survive without the mother's help. So when they got separated, the young whale couldn't figure out where to go and ended up on the shores, ultimately pushed by high waves. Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and you'll get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it. It really works. Number 1. Amazonian giant centipede. If a regular-sized centipede makes you uncomfortable, then imagine bumping into one that's about 30 centimeters long. That's the length of the Amazonian giant centipede. Imagine how nightmarish that would be to see this thing crawl around in the backyard. Seriously, it's probably one of the things you wouldn't want to encounter deep in the Amazon. Owing to its size, it's been described as an opportunistic feeder where it attacks any small animal it deems weak enough. It's been recorded feeding on other invertebrates such as scorpions, spiders, and insects. But it goes beyond these. The giant centipede has been known to attack, subdue, and munch on birds, lizards, bats, and even snakes. While its size is such an advantage, its venom also plays an important role in its feeding routine. The venom is quite lethal to small animals that the centipedes have been known to use to kill animals as much as 15 times their size in less than a minute. While the venom might not be as lethal to humans, a bite from a giant centipede is definitely something you wouldn't wish for. That said, a Venezuelan kid died in 2014 after being bitten by one of these gigantic crawly things, so the venom potentially is dangerous to toddlers.